History is really important to see physically rather than to just read about in a book. Historic Deepwood Estate was purchased by the city of Salem in the late 60s. The house is an 1894 Queen Anne Victorian, and it had 3 different families in the house. The third family who lived here, she resided here for almost 40 years. When her husband became too old to go up and down the stairs, the family put the house on the market. Finally, a buyer came along, but it was IBM. And so their only interest in the property was in ripping the house down, making Mission Street a main thoroughfare and putting 2 lanes in going in each direction. People really couldn't picture what would Mission Street be like, what would Deepwood be like if the street were widened. And so a couple of citizens got together and took some tape and ran it down the street to show just how much would be lost if Deepwood were plowed under and the street were widened. My history with Deepwood comes as a result of it because my mother-in-law, who was a landscape architect, was involved with that, but she was a city worker and she lost her job over it. When people take risks for things that they believe in, that's just a wonderful thing to do. That's part of the Deepwood legacy that we leave the community. The house is open to the public for tours, but we also offer teas to document and share the Victorian way of life with the community. We have sometimes private events here as well, where people can really experience all of the warmth and color that makes a Victorian home truly special. What people get to see when they come in is the feeling of being enveloped in a small space, which is something that's wonderful about spaces in old homes. They allow people to sit within a small space and really interact with one another. My favorite part of Deepwood is the fireplace area, which was done to represent something that was very important to the first family, who lost their son while the house was being designed and built. It's got stained glass commemorative of his life that never came to bloom. It was very personal to the family, and it's preserved forever. There are many Povey glass pieces throughout the house, many of them in the doorways, in the windows. One of my favorite areas of the Povey glass is in the master bathroom. The stained glass is absolutely wonderful. There's a lovely tub in there, and it's full of Eastern golden oak, making what was probably the most beautiful bathroom in Salem in 1894. We actually didn't have a time period in mind when we thought about restoring the kitchen. Although the house had an ice box when it was first built, that really wasn't going to work for the events that we have in the house. I did a little internet research and came across Karla Pearlstein's business, Restoring History. We just had some really fun conversations. Karla came down to Salem and fell in love with Deepwood. Her goal was to enhance what we had existing in the kitchen. One of the pieces in the kitchen is an original 1940s stove that Karla found for us. And once we found that stove, it was one of the anchors of the room. That's where we began our collaboration. And it was a lot of fun. It's really a story about a grassroots campaign, a small number of people coming together, raising money, and steadfastly holding to their ideal of the value of historic preservation.